Hi class. So we finally look at something that's related to object-oriented programming in this module. I would like to just discuss a little bit about the characteristic of object-oriented programming. So the three major characteristics are that OOP is about encapsulation or abstraction, reinforcing modularity. You can see that we contain information in a class within one data type, and we declare objects out of this data type. It make this object self-contained, so it doesn't in a way are intertwined with other types, other objects, and so it's easier to, for example, to debug, and it is more organized. It's closer to how we think about the world. We think about, for example, this is a chair, that is a car, that is a lamp, that is a picture, and then we have different data representation of what you need for variables, for example, of each different kind of objects. And so that's why a lot of programming language are depending on this OOP. And because of modularity, we can also hide certain information of implementation. So when we talk about the ADT, the abstract data type, we talk about how implementation is hidden, and we only give people the interface so that it can write programs basing on just the interface and not the implementation. And so no matter how you are changing the implementation, the interface, we try to keep it the same, of course, if you want to have backward or forward compatibility. So the second characteristic of OOP is polymorphism. It can take any shape. And you've seen that when we are using names. For example, in the constructor, right? We use the class name as the name of the constructors. And they all have the same name, but they have different numbers of parameters. Or, for example, we talk about overloading functions in module 4. It is the same. We've used the same name of the function, but a different number of parameters, or even same number of parameters but different types, and it still works because it is because of OOP. So inheritance, we can actually pass knowledge down to classes. We haven't talked, even though it's in the chapter, but I decided to not overwhelm you with too much information in one module. So if you're interested to read a little bit more about the characteristic of object-oriented programming, you can also click the link here in the reference and read a little bit, or just search on the internet if you are interested. I think using OOP is really powerful to be able to make your program so much easier to organize. Of course, you are seeing right now, hey, we are writing so many more lines of code to do something so simple. But when you are making a program doing complicated things, when it's organized, then it actually, the line of code will be less than if we are implementing it the way we used to, without the classes, without the struct. So next video, we are going to talk about the lab, the day of week class that you are going to implement.